Could we see the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels come back for one more match? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and it appears Kevin Owens is being pretty greedy. He is the kind of guy that goes to McDonald's and he's not content with one Big Mac meal. No, he needs two Big Mac meals because he's a fat bastard, and it appears now that one Wrestlemania match against a legend, against a Hall of Famer like Stone Cold Steve Austin isn't enough for Kevin Owens, because he wants another WrestleMania match against another WWE Hall of Famer, and that Hall of Famer is the one and only, in my opinion, the greatest in-ring performer of all time, Shawn Michaels. So Kevin Owens recently was on an episode of NXT, and he actually approached Shawn Michaels about doing another match. Sources claim that Michaels was intrigued about possibly doing a match with Kevin Owens. He looked at the match that Stone Cold Steve Austin had, and that was his main reason in believing that he could potentially come out and have another match. However, Michaels has also reportedly told Owens that he didn't think coming out of retirement was a good idea. And this is actually the second time that Michaels has turned down a possible final singles match against someone in WWE. He turned down AJ Styles a few years ago. Now, he did go on to have a match at Crown Jewel where he teamed up with Triple H to take on The Undertaker and Kane. However, Shawn Michaels has came out since then multiple times and expressed regret towards taking that match. Well, the first thing to discuss here is, should Shawn Michaels come back? And the second thing, of course, is, should Kevin Owens be the opponent if he does come back? First of all, can Shawn Michaels come back? In my opinion, I'm not too sure. Look, I love Shawn. Like I said, I think he's the greatest performer of all time. But Shawn Michaels, when he retired against Undertaker, even though he was into his 40s, his like mid to late 40s, he was still putting on classic performances, right? But that was a long time ago, and he's aged a lot since then. Plus, Shawn Michaels had one of these incredible styles where he pretty much did everything in a match. He could go technical, he could brawl, he could do the high-flying stuff, he could do everything. Mat-based wrestling, submission wrestling, any type of match, he could work it. So he could pretty much work with any opponent. And I just don't know if Michaels, now he could do a match, but we're used to Michael combining all of those elements into one. And I don't think Michaels, at the age he is now, I don't think he can put on a show-stealing performance. And that's why I think he might not want to do the retirement match. Now, Austin had an okay match against Kevin Owens, but let's remember, the match was essentially a brawl. And even by the time Austin retired in 2003, early 2003, he pretty much just toned down his style. He became a brawler, and he just went for basic matches, and that was fine because he was Stone Cold. He didn't need to do great matches. He was Stone Cold Steve Austin. The fact that he was in the match made the match great. But for Michaels, we know that he's so flamboyant. His style is a style that we've never seen before. Like I previously said, he can do it all. And when we last seen Michaels, he was still doing moonsaults. He was still doing elbow drops off the top rope. He was still doing moves to the outside, and he was still doing kip-ups, and I just don't know if we can see Shawn Michaels doing that sort of style in 2022 or 2023 when this match would happen. I don't think Shawn Michaels can compete at the level he could. He could do a match similar to Austin and Owens. He could do a better match than Austin and Owens, but it's not going to be a Shawn Michaels match. It's not going to be an HBK match. It's not going to be a showstopper match, and that's why I think it might not happen. Do I want it to happen? You know what? Sure. Why not? But it does feel weird seeing Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, coming out to the ring when he's fucking like 55 years old. He's bald. He just looks really, really old, and he's not the Heartbreak Kid anymore. Sometimes you need to leave things in the past. Like, wrestling today sucks. Give me the old era 100%. Love Austin, love Shawn Michaels, two of my favourites of all time, but I can accept that their time is up. As John Cena would say, your time is up, my time is now. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin's time's been up for a very long time. Hell, we're getting to the stage now where Cena's time's almost up. So, I don't know. I personally don't think Shawn Michaels should be back in the ring. But I do believe if he did come back, I think he could put on a decent match. I do, but it's not something I necessarily need to see. If he does come back 100%, I will watch it. My eyes will be glued to. I'm sure he'd put on a good match. He'd put on a great match, but it wouldn't be Shawn Michaels standards. It wouldn't be a showstopper match, and for me, that's the problem. Plus, like I said, he is like approaching 60 now. I think it's time to retire. Don't do what Ric Flair done. Do not embarrass yourself and wrestle about the ring, roll about the ring as an old man. Nobody wants to see that. Austin's return was good. He had a one-off match in Texas. He should leave it at that. If Shawn Michaels wants to come one more match, a send-off match, then that's fair enough. But to me, his retirement match against The Undertaker, the storyline was fucking great for that. There was no need for Michaels to come back at Crown Jewel. He said he regrets it, and I think if he came back for another match, he would regret that also. So let me know, guys, what you think down below. Do you want to see Shawn Michaels back for a match? If you do you want to see it against Kevin Owens? Personally, if he does come back, I think it should be against AJ Styles. But again, I'd rather just not see it. I'd rather not see it. So it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll catch you in the next one. And until then, peace.